And
Welcome
so
to the
the
casting
race
booth.
begins.
Another race, another day.
So coming up right here at the start. That's right, you guessed it. It's the Klungo cutscene skip. Did you know that this skip skips the Klungo cutscene?
It looks more like it skipped the Klungo cutscene skip.
Haha, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Haha, haha. So both players failed their Klungo cutscene skip, so at least they're both going to be kinda tied right at the beginning of the race. So not a huge loss for either runner, because I mean in the end it's a race, not a run. So, but if neither runner is watching the race stream, then they
They're
might be
gonna be
thinking they're a
feeling
little bit
panicked.
ahead. Yeah, it's always terrible when you're left in the dark thinking, "Oh man, what's my opponent doing?" and you just can't know. But if they're watching the chat or if they're watching the stream, then they'll obviously know.
Alright, we got a red potion. And another red potion.
Both players having exactly the same odds. I mean, Flights got caught a little bit on his molehill in Spiral Mountain, so he kind of lost a bit of time there, putting him behind Xafication. But that's not a time loss that can't be made up by some other big mistake.
Xafication and taking an extra damage on Klungo here. He's gonna need another honeycomb somewhere.
Did Flights take damage? Oh yeah, Flights just took damage off the red potion.
So there's always a free honeycomb right before jingling. See if he remembers to pick it up.
Oh man, Flights just got a really good push from his Klungo.
Yes, that saves a little bit of time for him. He's making his comeback.
Yeah. I mean, the push from Klungo, it's not like a huge like time save, but I mean, it can add up to like 2 or 3 seconds. Which makes all the difference.
Both struggling a little bit with the Reggie Joe house jump. He remembers to grab the honeycomb. Good.
Yeah. Flight's having a little bit of problem making it up to the top of the roof, but he eventually gets up there. It's because there was no T-jump. Flight's also had a really wonky camera angle going on with his red house jump. Some camera angles make it just a little bit harder to tell, like if you're going like out and back. But I mean, if people if people practice using a certain setup with a certain camera and then they just get real good at it, they can whip it out in front of people who don't know what they're doing, and it just works. And it's like, why is that working? Alright, Xafication on his way to do the next Beak Bus trials. First having to make it through Bottle's house to get the Amazo Gaze goggles. Flight's having some frame droppage happening. And gazes upon the castle atop Cauldron Keep. I'm gonna have to resync the players here a little bit. As is tradition with Flights' races.
Alright. We're coming up on the next Beak Bust of this section of Beak Bust. Got the plateau early. Everybody's seeming to get this down. Like, it's amazing. Before this, like, this tournament race, everybody struggled with this jump. And now it's just common knowledge to everybody who runs the category.
Yeah, Xernicus, the same thing is true with the start menu. Wow, I can't believe that worked. From Xafication. He was moving both up and to the right, like diagonally, and it still clipped him through. That was crazy.
Alright. Flights is now in.
Flights make it in. But yeah, Xernicus,
Not
like I
too
was
far
saying,
behind.
you can hold start right before the main menu pops up on a save and quit, and it'll automatically press it there as well. No, you can't buffer entering files. Ooh,
Xafication
Xafication.
falls down and having trouble.
Uh-oh.
That rock.
He has to go back up for that one note in S2. Ooh, he's getting stuck on everything. Ooh, I don't know if
having
he's
the same problem.
I don't know if he's gonna. No, he knows.
No.
He knows he's not gonna make the timer. He's gonna go back.
So this speed shoes section can be a little tricky because if you were watching, as he just ran into a wall, you like lose your speed with the shoes, making some of these jumps really hard when you rub against something.
Yeah. Certain seams you can just like, you just get stuck and you can't move. You have to kind of back out and kind of redo your jump in a different angle. Luckily, Xafication now doesn't have to grab any of the notes, so he's free to run and just go straight to the timer. He's going to be having a world record time on his gate timer here. 20 seconds. And yeah, it is quite unfortunate in a race for that to happen. So, ooh, he manages to save falling down as well. So, meanwhile, Flights is done with his swimming section. He's out of flooded caves, and he's gonna be, ooh, he's gonna be running the Wumba. Flights did a jump to the warp pad, which I guess is fine if you're jumping like directly to the warp pad, but jumping in speed shoes around the warp pad that hasn't been activated yet is playing with fire, because if you happen to jump outside of the range with your extra speed from the shoes, you can actually soft lock the game.
Tooie's got a cool feature in that cutscenes have a zone of activation. So if you're within that zone, the game will play the cutscene or activate whatever is happening. But if you somehow get out of that zone, the game just doesn't know what to do with your character because something was activated but you're not there anymore. This happens in quite a few places, and the game just soft locks.
I think warp pads are probably one of the more common ones, as well as but in Boggy's Igloo as well. No, Xafication didn't soft lock on the warp pad. We were just talking about Flights jumping to the warp pad and what could have happened if he wasn't careful. Xaf just had some hard time collecting some of the notes around Prospector's Hut, and he ran out of gate timer. Alright, interesting death warp out of Flights in the fuel depot. And now he's on his way to go do detonator levitation. Taking a dip in the water. Xafication on his way to go doing detonator levitation. Save a little bit of time here if he doesn't fall in the water. And he takes the extra safety jump, so he's good.
Doesn't get it first try though.
It's a little bit to the right. I mean, it works there just fine, but the game just gets really laggy. Which should make it a little easier to get. But I don't know.
But the lag also drops your inputs.
Yeah. Throws off the mojo for the trick. So Flight's still not that far ahead of Xafication. Maybe 20 seconds at this point, I'd say. Maybe a little bit more. It's like 20, 25.
Oh no!
Oh no, Xafication gets a bonk!
You may have to recalculate there.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Now it's like 30 seconds. Yeah, looking at the timer, it's 30 seconds. I thought that Flights was going to be moving a little bit too much, but he managed to grab the ladder. Just barely gets into the loading zone with his fall damage.
Now Flights is heading into P-Hut. I haven't had too many issues in P-Hut lately. Let's continue this.
I don't know about that. Ooh, Flights does the flap to the second lamp, completely dodging the first one. Now it's time for Xafication to do Power Hut Basement.
Ooh, that jump was sketch, but he still makes it.
Yeah, Go-Go, I don't think we're gonna see any soft locks on the warp pad. Most players just run into it. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone jump onto the warp pad.
Ooh, maybe a little bit too right. Yeah,
Yep.
it was.
A little bit to the right. That should work just fine though. Second try, switch hit. I saw Xafication was practicing this shot right before the race started, so we'll see if he can pull it out. Beautiful shot to the switch.
Very nice. You can sort of like hit your camera against the wall if you like walk up there a certain way, and it just takes a little practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a beautiful looking switch hit. You just kind of walk up, walk in that C pattern around the top of the edge, and then just to reset your slope timer, and then just shoot. So already the time is caught up significantly since the end of GGM there. Like right now Flights or Xafication is only like 8 or 9 seconds behind. and Flights talks to the disciple a couple times too many.
You just wanted to go to McJiggy's.
Sometimes he's just really chatty. And no, I looked at the timers, Go-Go. It's only 8 seconds different.
$87. And a 90. So
A 90. Xafication
catching up a little bit more time.
caught up almost half his time on the puzzle there. So I think MT is going to be a big switch around for either of these players. I mean, both of them could do anything in Mayhem Temple. I don't think it's only going to come down to prison code on this. Definitely looking at the crispness of all their beak bombs during the flight section, as well as Jade Snake Grove early is another thing that could definitely toss it up.
Yep.
Flight's throwing out the nice puzzle indeed in chat.
It's interesting to see now that that puzzle isn't the first thing you do in a category, how less efforts or not as people aren't as good as the MT puzzle as they used to be. We've been seeing a lot more 90s in the our any percent races, because sometimes people would reset if they got 90s in the olden days.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to reset on a bad puzzle when you're 5 minutes into the run instead of 17 minutes into the run. Oh no! A missed bill drill! They're basically tied now. Oh, Xafication's actually ahead now. Alright. Ooh, and a good Jade Snake Grove early from both players. I was worried about Xafication's Jade Snake Grove early there for a second.
Oh, and he gets hit by the Magi, and Flight takes the lead again.
Like I told you, MT, anything can happen. We're gonna see a lot of switches back and forth, I think. Oh no! Xafication gets a second bonk! Oh no! Everyone light up chat with bonk times.
So for future reference, going for that Magi there, like, his entire weapon has a hitbox that's sticking up above his head. So you kind of want to jump around to the right of him where his stick isn't.
It's a very slight jump. Like, when you're running at him, you can tell that you're in the middle of him. Just like jump slightly to the right side, and that way his stick won't swing in your way. Alright, now running up to the snake. Xafication narrowly dodging a dart. Flight's taking a small little bonk. Meanwhile, Xafication having a really nice jump to the snake. It's one thing that, like, is, like, so insignificant in terms of, like, time save, but at the same time, it's, like, one of those things that really show you, like, I don't know, like, it's something that's really good to see.
He misses the Jinjo and has to land. Oh, Xafication also does. What a really race.
Xafication just barely missing. Barely missing.
So Flights was trying to look like get the treble clef in that flight section? Or he was just messed up his beak bomb completely there. He used a ton of extra feathers.
I think Flights maybe forgot the route for a sec, because he did that in GGM as well. Alright, they're basically tied again, picking up the notes, going down the level here. All it'll take here is one flap out of Talon Trot from Xafication. Oh, or a missed note! Suddenly the leads have been swapped again.
However, Flights also needs to still destroy the door. and he's completely out
Oh
of
yeah,
feathers.
that's true. Yeah, flights is gonna have to land, because I mean,
Well,
yeah,
yep, you don't have feathers.
yeah, he
He was
shouldn't.
trying to play it cool there and do a beak bomb staying in flight, but he had no feathers.
Yeah, pretty good flies out of Xafication's side. Not that great of flies out of flights.
Having a
They're
little
kind of flying
trouble
all
on
over
it.
the place. Alright, here we have Flights has made it into prison compound.
A third try code here could be, and a first try from Flights could put him back ahead.
Ooh, first try from
However,
Xafication.
the RNG gods are making up for those bonks.
Pillars is the only thing standing in his way.
Don't forget the eels.
Alright, no first try from Flights. Star, second try. So for the first time since Xafication lost his gate timer, we got a decisive lead happening here. But I mean, Xafication crawled back his lead before. We can see if Flights can do the same. But going into the late game, I think their PBs are gonna start showing a little bit. Xafication going for the blind right jump to the pillar.
Looks good. Oh, ground pound is a little too early there.
Everything else about that last jump looked really good. But that's gonna give... Oh no, he misses again!
Flights makes this first try. He pulls back ahead. Oh, nope. Pillars are getting to everyone here. And the Moggy gets another hit in.
Flight's going for the backflip, and just as he starts the animation, the Moggy comes from behind the pillar like, surprise, motherfucker. Oh my god, I don't think that's gonna... Oh, wow, that just barely made it from Xafication.
Xafication gets it.
Unfortunately, Flights didn't make his last pillar jump, and he fell.
That would have been a hot sink if they both got it there.
Yeah, they would have been exactly tied. Oh my god, I can't believe that Moggy just came out like that. That was the best timing ever.
Not whack.
Alright. Flight's still having some problems with pillars. That last one looked good, but he didn't jump quite in the right direction. Didn't readjust his timings. And that was a little fast on a beak bust. Here we go. Oh, that was a jump from the middle. Did he
jumped a little far there.
Yeah. It was a little too close to the middle there.
Application going in for some hot puzzles.
Come on, Flights, you can do this. We'll all raise our arms and give you our energy. That looks... Oh! Beak bust a little too late.
He's not getting any more health, so if he fails that last one more time, he's gonna have a death.
Yeah. Luckily he's hit the warp pad so he can warp back, but...
That one looks good, and
Yep.
he gets it!
Perfect.
We in there.
Unfortunately, he's gonna need to grab health anyway, because he can't get spat across the swamp without taking 1 damage.
Nah.
Oh, I'm not sure where he's going here. Oh,
I
maybe
think
he's going to... Oh,
Oh,
just jumping up. Didn't want to swim.
grabbing his feathers, good. I don't think he realizes that he's gonna die, or he's just gonna grab a health from the monkey back
I
here.
think he was gonna try and like grab a health from one of the Mogies that was on the other side, but then he like realized halfway through that there was one over here as well. Oh, or
Nope,
he's
he
just gonna
just
death
went
warp off.
for the
I
death
guess
warp.
that's actually probably faster.
Well, it puts you back into...
Oh yeah,
thing
that's
again.
right. It does put you back here. That's right. Because of the reset. Xafication just finishing up his Witchy World puzzle. Xafication with the big lead on flights now. This is definitely going to take a big mistake in order to catch him up.
Maybe he'll mess up the reset on the JRL puzzle. Who knows?
I think we've seen that one too many times in this tournament already.
Maybe the eels will devour his dead body.
Instead of respawning, he just finds a new loading zone into the eel. Flight saying in chat, that was intentional, by the way. Alright. Xafication finishing up his last puzzle. Gracefully wearing his mouse cursor over top of his timer.
Remember that one race where Batman had 3 mouse cursors over his timer?
Talking to the obelisk Go-Go would be really bad, but I don't think it would actually lose him the race at this point. I don't think that's enough time. I mean, it's like almost a minute and a half time loss, I think. But, I mean, you would have to, like, be really far to the left. The little golden relics that are outside each level as me, if you accidentally get too close to the one outside Glitter Gulch Mine when going to enter it to do your DCW, talking to the obelisk with Jiggy Wiggy text gives you a black bars, and that counts as a cutscene, so you have to exit out of your file and reset up your cutscene again. I actually lost a bingo to that once. And ever since then, I've been deathly afraid. That's why
Not all black bars count as cutscenes, though. Only Jiggy Wee asking you to warp back counts as a cutscene, though.
Yeah. Ooh,
So if you were to just
Xafication.
talk to an obelisk on a like completed file like that, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, because the camera kind of like zooms in a little bit when you talk to
Yes.
one.
Same with Jam Jars. Jam Jars gets the black bars, but it doesn't count as a cutscene either.
Yeah, but you can DCW to jam jars.
Only some of them that have
Oh, yeah,
cutscenes.
right, only some of them. Alright, Xafication just hitting his switch now. Flight's done with his puzzles. Jam Jars can take off his glasses on all the silos, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he does.
It's just part of his animation. If
On
you
silos like where things get spawned, or like Ice Egg where it has a cutscene in the middle of it. But just talking the jam jars itself does not count.
Xafication a little too far to the left on the signpost to get the beak bust up. Those tiny little hills in the middle of the signpost definitely make a difference. Flight's starting his Witchy World run now. Basically, we're just both on the edge of our seats right now, seeing if anything happens to Xafication in JRL or Hag 1. The lead he's got is pretty substantial. Flight's aiming just a little bit too low. I'm gonna redo the shot a couple times. How many clockwork shots? Well, you can only hold 10 clockworks, so you're kind of stopped by that.
We're coming up on swim here. Will the eels win, or will Banjo sneak by? Tune in to find out.
I mean, first he's got to make it past the octopus. Very clean swim around the octopus. Little bit of a safety swim going so far to the right, but not a huge time loss. All the health in the world to make it to the top. Eels weren't even interested in him, still at the bottom of the pillar, the column. Oh no. Flights fell off cliff top. That's terrible. I only saw him fall off. I didn't see what knocked him off. Did he get hit by Did he get hit by the grunny dactyl? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he tried to jump around the other side.
Dude, I can't believe it actually happened.
No, no, I was watching Fliigh7z's side. I mean Xafication side. I just like flipped my eyes over to see him like fall
Prince
through the
Troll
clouds.
returns.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely don't want to try jumping around him from the other side.
Usually it's pretty good in this type of any percent routes. Because if you should go straight there, he's never in a bad spot. And in the old like no DCW routes, nobody knew where he was gonna be because you had to get ice eggs. Sometimes he would be in a spot to swoop in and get you.
I mean, there's a little bit of variation. In lots of runs, sometimes he'll fly outwards, and other times he'll fly inwards. I've seen a
Yeah,
couple runners
people have
having
gotten
to kill him.
hits by it, but they're usually you get hit towards the wall or forward rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
off the edge.
Yeah, you definitely don't want
He's
to be standing
usually
on the edge side.
Yeah, he's usually flying at you rather than going to knock you off.
We got hit twice. I'm gonna have to go back and get an instant replay on that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the big mistake then. Not killing him or like trying to like instantly just keep running on the same side. Ooh, and now he's getting rejected by the octopus. Only got hit once, but
He's not gonna make
he's
it.
still gonna need to get air in Seaweed Sanctum. And he knows that, so he's on his way.
Oh, he just went in there, but he didn't get air.
He went in there, but he didn't surface. He needs to...
He
realized!
it.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, Flights. Just wanted to check out the sights. Yeah, he's just manipulating the RNG so Hag 1 just destroys itself, saving 6 minutes in the speedrun. It was an accident, I swear, he says. Alright, Xafication taking a couple seconds to think about saving and quitting out of his Hag 1 fight. I thought he was about to start moving for a sec. Just kind of forgetting altogether that he was in the fight. Now we get to see what kind of Klungo 2 we're going to be getting from Flights. Flights forgetting to cancel his text on Klungo 2. He gets a blue potion.
It was intentional. It was RNG manipulation.
Meanwhile, Xafication already has his Hag 1 loaded up. Ooh, bad clones. Flights tried to shoot the real one super fast without waiting for the clone to get out of the way. Something you cannot do. Xafication starting off the fight with grenade quick shots, having a very nice quick shot on his first phase. See if he can keep that up for the rest of the fight. Meanwhile, Flight's making his way to Clockworks. Ooh, just barely getting out of Talon Trot.
And a little bit far, but
Yeah.
manages to get all the shots.
I can't believe Grunty only shot at him once. That was insane. But I guess the further it is you are away from the drill, the longer it takes for the bolt to get at you. So, wow, sorry, Xafication's already at 2 health on his mortar phase. He's gonna have to pick up some health somewhere, I think. There's one. Yeah. Being this far ahead in a race and then dying to Hag 1 would be very heartbreaking. Flight's out of his second mortar phase and into the start of his battery phases. Flight's gonna or Xafication gonna have to make a pretty terrible shot to the drill. At least he's in front and not behind. It just always sucks having to like be directly in front of her. Starting up the second battery phase now for Xafication. Meanwhile, Flights is just making it into Glitter Gulch Mine to do his DCW into Hag 1. So far, Xafication has been having a pretty okay Hag 1 fight. I mean, aside from the couple missed shots earlier on. Oh, and I guess that time he just decided to go straight for the fire eggs.
Sometimes you just misclick and then you just go with it. It
Yeah.
can be faster than panicking.
Yeah, it's really easy to press the wrong buttons when you're trying to do grenade quick shot in Hag 1 because you just gotta press so many buttons in exactly the right order, and if you end up messing up, you switch to Clockworks, and then you become a meme in the chat, and it's just terrible.
That's why you should just get Ice Egg.
Xafication starting his fight to the death, 30 health left. Meanwhile, Fliigh7z is just starting his Hag 1 fight. He's gonna get the backwards beak. I can never remember the name of the move. Bird handling, I just call it. Xafication down to his last health. He's gonna finish his fight. Oh, not yet. Finish his fight with a 47-33. He's winning this round of the Banjo tournament.
GG.
GG to Xafication.
Alright, let's have the Fliigh7z finish this out strong.
Fliigh7z having a little bit of trouble aiming at Grunty, I saw in the first couple phases. Pooping the grenade eggs. Oh, he might be done. He might be done since the race is over. Yeah. All right.
Dang.
Fliigh7z opts to just end the suffering.